What does, a performance like that and just kind of a thorough domination do for you guys in terms of providing proof of concept, both for, the players in your program and honestly recruits?
I don't know that it does, Robbie. I mean, I think, we're a work in progress. I feel like, our goal this season wasn't to win this game. This was just the start of the journey for us. We got a lot of work ahead of us. Obviously, I don't want to, we're going to celebrate this one and we're going to enjoy it on the trip home. But the challenge is now going to be to win the trip back and reset our focus on Elon. And this is the beginning of the season for us. It's good to be 1-0, but I don't know that this proves anything other than this team will compete. We'll play hard for 4 quarters, and we got to keep applying that formula as we move forward.
Aria?
After that, first drive where they scored the touchdown, what was the key to kind of adjusting after that and, kind of getting on a roll?
Well, we knew coming into this game that we were going to have to kind of figure out their offensive personality on the move. I considered taking the ball, if we'd won the toss, but we chose to defer just because we wanted the offense to have the extra possession, the extra look at them defensively. But it was a challenge game planning for these guys because there's so much unknown, new coaches, new players. And I just, again, I give credit to Nick Howell and his staff. They did an incredible job, really honestly building an identity and a foundation through camp from which we were able to dial into some calls that changed some leverages that covered down a little differently. And, and then got the explosive run for the touchdown. I think we settled in on a plan where we were moving less and playing a little more vertically against the run, and it was effective. But that's a credit to the staff, to Nick Howell, and it's a credit to our players of taking the adjustments and applying them efficiently, and kind of settling in.
Chris?
Yeah, Clark, when you guys went down 7 early, when you get some offensive penalties that derail a drive, and all the things set in from the memories of a year ago, do you say anything to the team at that point, or do you just let it ride and trust them to figure it out?
No, I mean, it's I think there's an expectation level, in game 1 that you're gonna have some hiccups, and my trust in the team and my belief in what we're doing goes way beyond the first drive and the first quarter of the first game of the season. We spend every day together training for those moments and building in responses to those moments. And so rather than needing to give a speech, we default to our training. We show each other confidence, we make eye contact, we speak about the belief we have, and that's what manifests performance on the field. And so, do we want to start fast? Do we want to get off to a great start and play with a lead? Absolutely. Were we able to do that tonight? No. I thought, the opportunity that adversity presented us was a chance to show our maturation and our progress as a program. And in that vein, I was grateful for it, and I was proud of the players and the way they just kept their heads down and kept working.
We'll go back to Robbie.
I feel like Julian Hernandez left the game relatively early. Do you have an update on him and Patrick Smith?
No, Patrick wasn't available to play tonight. Obviously made the trip and practices with us this week. Julian will be, we'll get eyes on him here afterwards, and obviously got to make the trip home and get eyes on him tomorrow. But that's going to be kind of day to day, and we just got to get a feel for where he's at. But I expect him back, hopefully back for next week. But got to wait and see.
Then is he injured?
Just wasn't available to play tonight, and we'll look forward to when he is available to play.
Aria?
Clark, what did Mike Wright do for your offense tonight?
Well, yeah, he did a lot. Mike was able to show the things that make him a unique competitor and a unique player. He obviously he had a ton of success on the ground. He was also able to find some plays through the air. I think what is almost most important is he led the offense. He was out there, and I thought was an emotional connector, and handled our double calls, handled our checks effectively. And there's going to be a lot to clean up. It was not a perfect performance, but there's a lot there for us to build on, and a lot of positives around what he was able to accomplish on an individual level. But at the same time, I'm looking at the offensive line. I'm looking at Will Shepherd throw a block that sprung the run there, the long run for the touchdown. Gavin Schoenwald showed up a ton. He was back there with three backs that ran the ball effectively. Ray and Chase and Rocco did a great job. And so, Mike benefited from all that. And then, we know that he has the ability, when the play's there, to make it. And he did that tonight. We'll clean up the things that we need him to improve upon. And again, this is just the start for him, but a good start it was.
Let's go back to Chris.
Yeah, Clark, you talked about the identity of your defense. You wanted to swarm to the ball. You wanted to be physical, fast to the ball. Looked like you accomplished that pretty well tonight, but how did you feel about that effort?
Well, the two defensive touchdowns are a product of us, flying to the ball, and good things happen when you play with great effort. Total effort is what we say. I did feel like there was a physical edge to the way we were playing. It was frustrating early on as the ball was finding puncture points, but even on some of the conversions they had, I felt like they were met immediately with a physical tackle. I thought Max Worship had a really good night that way. He makes a huge play there to spring Anthony on the fumble return for a touchdown early. And we want to have a defense where playmakers can make plays. I thought we held up on the perimeter well. The second touchdown was Elijah McAllister in pursuit and CJ Taylor capitalizing, and they had fun. It was fun to watch them compete. And we can never stray away from that identity, because if you're playing with total effort on defense, you're going to have a chance whenever you play.
All right, we'll wrap things up with Gentry.
Yeah, Clark, just how important do you think it was for the guys on the team to get this kind of reward for the effort they put in, and the faith they showed sticking around to make this possible?
Well, I'm like, I'm beyond happy for them to get this result. I don't want to, it feels good to win. Winning's hard to do, and when you take on a road trip like we took on here in week 0, there are a lot of things that go into this game and outside of the actual game. And I was really, really pleased with the way this team handled the trip. And I thought the energy that they showed over the last 48 years was remarkable. And I think that showed up in the game today. We have to take this and build upon it. This is a part of our process. And so obviously we don't feel like the journey's done. The journey's just beginning, Gentry. And so we're not looking at this as like an end point, but a beginning. And we're excited to take the next step next week versus Elon. But, we are going to take the time to celebrate this because we've earned. Once we get back to Nashville, we'll shift focus pretty quickly and get started on game 2.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Hey, let me, if I could just say thank you guys so much for sticking with us and staying up. And I know it's late back home, but really means a lot that y'all would stay with us. And I think it's worth next time we're out here, maybe we get you guys on the trip with us. How about that?
All right.
Aria, you look like you might want some beach time. I don't know.
I wore the pineapple shirt today, so
Very good. You were in spirit. That's good. Well, you guys get some rest. Thanks so much. We'll see you back home.
thank
Thanks.
you.
All right, we'll have Maxwell Worship and Mike Wright joining us next.
All right, we got Mike.
All right, joining us quarterback Mike Wright. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. Robbie, we'll let you get us started.
Hey, Mike, this is like the most points that Vanderbilt had scored against an FBS opponent since I think World War II. What does a performance like this, an all-around performance by the team, show about you guys in terms of the progress that you've made and signal to everyone else who probably was overlooking you?
Yeah, I think it just shows the growth of our offense. I mean, us just coming together as one unit, us sticking to the operation and controlling our operation. So just shout out to the offensive line. I mean, they played their butts off today, and I'm so proud of the Grease gang. I'm so proud of our running backs, tight ends, receivers. Coach Lynch dialing it up today. I'm just proud of our offense.
All right, Aria.
Yeah, Mike, after the first drive kind of stalled out, what did you see from Hawaii that kind of enabled you to really open up that run game?
Yeah, I think we just had to get first game jitters out. I mean, what you saw today was just a part of our operation and how we play, Vanderbilt football. So I think kind of just they were giving us the looks that we had prepared for. Of course, with a new defensive coordinator, they was throwing out just some different things, but we were ready for it. And so we just had to get our first game jitters out the way and then just go play football.
Chris Lee.
Hey, Mike, was there a play or a moment or a point in the game that you sensed things were really clicking for the offense, and what was that?
I don't want to say like necessarily like a single play. I just think, just as an offense, once you start stringing drives together and just catching the flow and catching the rhythm, one play that just sticks out to me is the long run that I had. If anybody goes back and watches it, go watch the block Will Shepherd had. And it was the loudest thing I've ever heard. I mean, but that's just the total effort piece and our offense clicking and tremendous job up front. But a receiver who's blocking downfield, and I always say this, if there's a long run, somebody blocked downfield. And oh my goodness, was that a block? So
we'll go back to Robbie.
Yeah, Mike, AJ Swan got into his first college game. What'd you see from him?
Yeah, I was proud of Swanee. He went out there and I'll put it this way, we were just smiles all across the sideline. The kid is incredible, amazing spirit. I was just happy for him to get some touches. So future's bright for Swan. Future's bright.
Aria.
Mike, I saw that, you had Ace with you in your TV interview post game. What did it mean for you to have him out there with you?
Oh my goodness. I was just talking to Coach Lee about it, and the kid's spirit is amazing. It's electric. Like when he walks in the room at his young age, and he's been hanging out with us all week, and him and his mom. And so it's just been amazing to have him around. And so I saw an opportunity. I was like, oh my, all right, let's get him on camera. Cause he was right there with us the entire way too this week. So he needed a little love.
Gentry.
Yeah, Mike, the way this played out, it seemed to validate a lot of what you guys have been saying since the end of last season about this team's improvement, how you're better. What do you think it means for the team to win, but not just to win, but to win the way you did tonight, kind of making a statement?
Yeah, well, one thing, and I don't necessarily like use like validation almost, but just us growing. I mean, we haven't arrived yet. You know, our goal as this year is playing at the highest level as a team, and we still have strides to go. And so we're going to celebrate right now, but we still have to grow. We have to grow as offense, defense, special teams, and that's what we'll continue to do every single week. So.
All right. Any last questions for Mike? Yeah, Chris, we'll do one more.
Hey, Mike, when it started to go bad early, when you're down a touchdown, when you get a couple penalties that derail a drive, what's it like? Are there conversations among the players, among the offense, or do you guys just figure you don't need to have the conversation and you trust yourself to get it right from there?
Yeah, I think, you know, when you mess up, you know you messed up. So I mean, the most I'll do is just like, hey, flush it, let's keep going. There's a reason football's for 4 quarters. There's a reason there's 4 downs when you go out there. So I'm like, look, flush it, let's move on. Let's get back to how we are. So I don't put a lot of energy into it, just because if everybody on this team was perfect, they would have found a way for us to skip playing college football and go straight to professionals. That's not, I mean, you know, so.
All right, Mike, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys for staying up. What time is it there?
It is 1:57 in the morning.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for staying up. Anchor down. We really appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Thank you.
No, awesome.
Thanks, Mike.
That's crazy. 157.
All right. We got safety Maxwell Worship joining us now. Robbie, you want to get us going?
Hey, Max, just kind of a simple question. I mean, they went right down the field on that first drive. What changed for you guys after? Because they really didn't do a whole lot. You guys did pretty well against them after the first drive of the game.
Honestly, I think it was just getting settled in the game, being able to handle their tempo, just getting adjusted really. It didn't phase us, honestly. Like we had early adversity early on in the game, but we've been trained and we've been learning how to fight back and overcome adversity. And I think we did a really, really good job doing that. It just didn't phase us. We just kept moving forward. We knew the game plan. We knew how to attack them, and we knew what they were going to do to us. And so just knowing all that and just continuing to move forward and continuing to make the tough decision to just move forward, I think that was really the adjustment, just learning how to bounce, like get over adversity. And that's something that we've been learning all throughout since January, really, even in spring. So, yeah.
Chris?
Yeah, Max, the play where you forced the fumble and get the touchdown, just walk us through that. And did you know you popped the ball loose right away?
So early on in the week, we had been game planning them. We knew some of their offensive formations. One of their big tells is running ace trips where they have a tight end in the boundary and then it's 3 receivers to the field. And so within that formation, they always run truck, which is basically when they just give the running back the ball to the boundary and then the linemen come over to try and just like fill the blocks and whatnot. And so knowing that formation and knowing what play was going to come, I kind of already had a know on where the ball was going to be. And so I literally just made the routine play, trying to make the tackle. He tried to juke me. I got him in a good position to where my helmet was on the ball. It popped out. Honestly, when I first tackled him, I didn't know that the ball came out until the crowd just yelled after I wrapped him up. And then I looked up and I see Anthony running with the ball and scoring. So I mean, honestly, when it comes to the game of football, one of my coaches once said one time that like the ball finds energy. And I think we had a lot of energy just going into the game and even playing the game. And so I think luck was just on our way, was in our favor. The ball was really in our favor and the ball found us in a lot of different ways. And that's why we were able to score twice on defense through forced fumbles. But yeah, no, honestly, I didn't even know that I forced a fumble at first. But I mean, it was just it was a really good play, a really good tackle, a really good pickup by Anthony and a good score and just good defense all around. So doing our jobs.
Robbie?
Yeah, I feel like CJ Taylor had a pretty good fall camp. You know, considering what he went through with the scary car accident, how good is it, you know, to see him get the touchdown there?
Yeah, I love CJ, man. CJ's grown a lot as a player from last year to this year. And to see like what he's done through camp come to fruition in just this game. And that's only just the beginning. Really the whole safety group played really, really well this game. And I'm very pleased and just very happy with what we've done. We're not satisfied. CJ's going to make more plays. Derek is going to make more plays. Jalen's going to make more plays. I'm going to make more plays. The whole defense is going to make more plays. But yeah, no, just to see CJ make that play, I was so happy. I literally ran on the field with him. I didn't even know that he had the ball at first. Like he got the ball, started running. I said, "Oh," and I just ran to the end zone with him. But nah, just seeing him make that play was huge, and it just made me happy. It made my heart smile just to see all the adversity that he's continued to battle through and overcome.
Chris?
Yeah, Max, was there a point in the game where you sensed that you really had them frustrated? It seemed like you got a good pass rush. You're causing turnovers. You're all over the field. Was there a point that you felt that the tide was really turning in your favor?
Honestly, I think maybe, I mean, really, it was that forced fumble in the beginning of the game. After that happened, I think defense kind of just said, okay, let's go. Let's not look back and let's just keep really just step on their neck and just move forward and don't look back. I think that play really just got us ready to really do what we came here to do. And that was to make a statement. And that's what we did. So